Episode 4 Shadows of the Past. Setting. After their mysterious encounter with Leo, Arif, Jason, and Sarah are left shaken but determined. It's becoming clear that the pendant is part of something much bigger than they imagined. They must figure out how to control its power before it spirals out of Arif's hands. Meanwhile, Leo's cryptic warning looms over them, and they decide it's time to dig deeper into the history of the pendant and Ravenwood High. Scene 1 The Plan. Monday morning in the school library, the trio huddles at their usual spot in the far corner. Jason is restless, drumming his fingers on the table, while Sarah pores over more of the old school archives. Arif looks distracted, still feeling the weight of the pendant around his neck. So, we can all agree Leo's bad news, right? I mean, he shows up, talks all mysterious, and vanishes. Classic villain move. Without looking up from her book. We don't know that yet, but we do need to figure out who he is and how he knows about the pendant. That's priority 1. Agreed, but we also need to figure out how to control this thing before something else goes wrong. I don't want another cafeteria incident. That was kind of epic, though. Sarah shoots him a look. Focus, Jason. We've got 2 mysteries now, Gregory Wren's disappearance and Leo. I think they're connected somehow. Maybe Wren wasn't the only one who knew about the pendant's power. Arif frowns, his fingers tracing the now familiar grooves of the pendant. You think there's more to it? Like, maybe there's a group of people who knew about the pendant? It's possible. Wren wasn't the type of person to experiment with something this powerful without help. And Leo's warning, it sounds like he's seen someone else struggle with this before. Jason suddenly straightens up, his eyes wide with an idea. What if there was a secret society? You know, like the Illuminati, but at Ravenwood. It would explain how all this has stayed hidden for so long. Sarah rolls her eyes, but Arif doesn't dismiss the idea so quickly. It's not impossible. Wren could have had a group that helped him with his research. It's a stretch, but let's not rule anything out yet. Scene 2. Uncovering the Society. Later that afternoon, Sarah returns to the library, determined to find more clues. She's alone this time, flipping through old yearbooks, faculty records, and letters that have been preserved in the archives. After hours of digging, she comes across something that makes her pause. A faded letter tucked into the back of one of the yearbooks, dated 1934, a year before Gregory Wren's disappearance. Letter text. To Mr. Wren, we believe the time has come to move forward with the plan. The Society agrees the pendant must be tested, but proceed with caution. The risks are far greater than you imagine. Yours in secrecy, E.S. Sarah stares at the letter, her heart pounding. The mention of a society confirms what they feared. Gregory Wren wasn't working alone. Scene 3. The confrontation with Leo. The next day, Arif, Jason, and Sarah meet in the courtyard after school to discuss the letter. They're all on edge, knowing they're closer to the truth, but also unsure of what they'll find. As they talk, a shadow falls over them. Leo is back, standing just a few feet away, his expression unreadable. You've been digging, haven't you? Found something you weren't supposed to? Jason steps forward, fists clenched. Just clenched. Who are you? What do you know about the pendant? Leo smirks, but his eyes remain cold. I know more than you could imagine. You think this pendant is just some lost artifact? It's part of something much larger, a power that people have been chasing for centuries. Gregory Wren was only the latest to try and unlock it. Arif's heart races as Leo speaks, the weight of the pendant feeling heavier around his neck. You said it was dangerous, that it could destroy everything. What do you mean by that? Leo's gaze sharpens, and for the first time, there's no amusement in his voice. The pendant is a key to power beyond your comprehension. Wren thought he could control it. He was wrong. It took him, and if you're not careful, it'll take you too. Sarah steps forward, the letter clutched in her hand. We know about the society. Wren wasn't working alone. What were they planning? Leo glances at the letter and scoffs. The society? They were fools, just like Wren. They thought they could use the pendant for their own purposes, but the power inside it is older than any of them knew. They barely scratched the surface. Jason narrows his eyes. And what about you? Why do you care so much? Leo's expression darkens, his voice low. Because I've seen what it can do, and I'm not going to let another person make the same mistake. Arif feels a strange pull from the pendant, as if it's reacting to Leo's presence. His grip tightens on it. What do you want from me? Leo takes a step closer, his eyes locked on the pendant. I want to help you. You need to learn to control it before it's too late. But if you're not ready, if you keep messing around with something you don't understand, it will destroy you and everything around you. Scene 4. The warning. Leo's words hang in the air as the trio stands in silence. For the first time, Arif begins to grasp the magnitude of the pendant's power and the responsibility that comes with it. He's right, Arif. You need to learn how to control it before it controls you. Arif swallows hard, the weight of everything crashing down on him. He thought the pendant was just a mystery to solve, but now he realizes it's far more than that. Okay, what do I have to do? Leo's eyes soften slightly, and he nods. Meet me tomorrow night. I'll show you how to control the power. But be careful. There are others looking for that pendant, and they won't be as forgiving as I am. Jason raises an eyebrow, clearly still not trusting Leo. Jason, and we're just supposed to believe you're on our side now? Leo smirks. Believe whatever you want, but if you don't learn how to control that thing, you'll wish you'd listened to me. With that, Leo turns and walks away, disappearing into the shadows once again. Scene 5. A choice. That night, back in his room, Arif stares at the pendant in the mirror. It glows faintly, pulsing with a power that now feels both familiar and terrifying. He knows he can't run from it anymore. Leo's warning has shaken him, but it's also made him realize that he can't keep going the way he has been. He needs to understand the pendant, and fast. He picks up his phone and texts Jason and Sarah. Text from Arif. Tomorrow night, we're meeting Leo. A reply comes almost instantly from Jason. Text from Jason. I still don't trust that guy. Then Sarah's text follows. We'll be there, but be careful, Arif. Arif puts the phone down and takes a deep breath. Tomorrow could change everything. End of episode 4.